Hello everyone. So this is our first video of Gati Education, and here I am Pragati, who would be teaching you some subjects related to computer. But before going on to some computer programming language or any other typical subject, let us introduce what is computer and go through some very basic plus important parts of computer. So when we talk about introduction to computer, the first question which arises is, what is computer? So here I have written, if it is visible, look at here, I am dictating that too, that what is computer? So computer is an electronic device that can be instructed to carry out sequence of arithmetic or logical operations automatically via computer programming. So that we already know that computer is some sort of machine which helps us out to do our household works or daily basis works, right? So it carries out some arithmetic and logical operations, like not even one, it is sequence of operations, like it goes on, right? So that is what is computer, and I believe everybody knows about it, but when we talk about introduction, I need to cover that part too. Now quickly going forward and looking at the block diagram of computer which is drawn here. So these all components, there are 5 components of computer that also everybody might be knowing, right? Now we are going to study which those components are. So a block diagram of computer looks something like this, and there are 5 components which I am going to teach you today. The number 1 is input device, then we have output device, then we have memory unit, then we have ALU, and then we have control unit. So overall it makes 5 components, and those are these which I have already told. Now let us go beneath it, that what all these components do. So number 1, I gave it to input devices. So input devices everybody knows, like which are the input devices? Keyboard on which we work upon, the mouse which we use, right? These are the easiest thing ever, right? So these are the input devices, but what input device does, we will discuss it afterwards. First of all, let us cover the components. The next is output device. Output device, the most important and easy thing which we know is VDU, visual display unit, which we also call as monitor. So that is the biggest and easiest output device. Then let us come to the memory unit. Memory unit means storage, the storage capacity of our PC, of our laptops, जिसको देखकर ही we buy things, right? So that is our memory unit. Then next is ALU. So here we were talking about some arithmetic or logical operations. So arithmetic or logical operations computer carry out through what? Through this component, which is arithmetic and logical unit. Then 5th component is control unit. So control unit, I personally explain it and give a term to control unit is our fathers. Fathers means the main, like head of the family, which controls all the other, like our siblings, mother and everybody, who controls everything. Like dining table pe bhi, he has a different seat, right? He sits over there and everything is served like that and all. So control unit, I consider it as our father, who controls each and everything. That means each and everything means the other components of the computer. Chalo, so let us go beneath all these components. So what actually a computer does? It has 5 components and does 5 tasks. First is input devices. Input device, what does input device do? Input device takes the input from the user, that is we human beings, takes it from us, then it gives it to the PC, like to the computer, right? So before giving it to CPU for processing it, it converts it into machine language. Like we have written everything according to us in our language, and then it converts it into machine readable form. Like वहाँ तक वही signals जाते हैं which a machine can understand, and thereafter all the work comes here. The CPU's work comes. The CPU processes everything, whatever data we have given, right? So CPU consists of control unit and ALU, that is arithmetic and logical unit. So control unit's work is to control all the components, that is output device, input device, memory unit, everything. Control all the components of the computer. So whether they are doing the proper work or not, or the flow of the work, and etc. etc. Such works are done by control unit. And thereafter comes the work of ALU. So processing of a thing and everything has to be done from here. And thereafter there's memory unit. Memory unit, why there's transactions between memory unit and CPU is we need memory. While we are storing anything to computer, we need memory, whether we are talking about RAM or we are talking about hard disk. Like वो बाद में अगर मेरे को store करके रखना है, I need HD, but beforehandedly there is need of RAM, right? So for that thing, here it is, and they communicate in between for data access only. After all the data is processed and everything is covered, after that we get the output on output device, that is on our monitor or through printer or whatever. So the output device's work is to convert it into human readable form. Like whatever we get is in human readable format only, whether the thing which has been given to output unit is not in human readable form. It needs to translate and give it to us. So this is how whole computer thing works. So here we have discussed all 5 components, but in that this memory unit I gave some examples and all, but I haven't yet explained it properly. So in memory unit there are 2 types of memory units. Like one is primary memory storage and secondary memory storage. It is more bifurcated into 2, primary and secondary. So primary memory is RAM, which I was talking about. RAM and ROM are the things which we take care about before buying a desktop or a laptop, right? So that is our primary storage memory. Whenever we are inserting any data or anything in computer, it first of all goes to the primary memory only. But primary memory is temporary in nature. Temporary means whatever we are storing at once, and if we want to access it again and again, it would be stored onto your RAM. But if we want to permanently store something, then we need to store it into the secondary memory storage. So secondary memory storage is also needed, such as our hard disks. We have multiple sources like pen drives, magnetic tapes, and in older times there were floppy disk and such all things. So this is the bifurcation between 2, that is primary memory and secondary memory. Now after this thing, like what is computer and block diagram of computer, we'll now cover about the software and the hardware. Okay, so let us move on to hardware and software part of the computer, like which are the hardwares and which are the computer softwares. But let us go through the definition first. So when we talk about hardwares, it is the thing which we can physically touch, right? So the definition, we cannot say it is the definition, but when we say it is hardware, we refer to these physical elements of the computer or the computer system. Whatever we can touch are the hardware parts, such as keyboard, mouse, CPU, etc. So these are the examples for hardware. Hardware is not much fussy thing, whereas software is little bit like in this part of the board I am not able to write everything. So now we will discuss about the softwares. Hardware is quite very easy and easy to understand and all, but when we talk about the software, it is a little bit more and bulkier thing. Before going to software, let us discuss what is a program. So everyone might be saying that a set of instructions or set of meaningful instructions makes a program, right? That was my question, that what is program? Why did I ask that? Because as program is set of instructions, the software is set of programs. If we say program as set of meaningful instructions, then set of such meaningful tasks and programs is a software. So software is made up of more than one or two programs, we can say. So as now we know the difference between hardware and software and a little bit about software, let us go beneath in deep knowledge about software a little bit. That there are two types of software. First is system software and another one is application software. So these are the two types of softwares we know. First is system software and another is application software. Now, what is system software? So system software is something which contains all the programs of a system, like which can carry so many tasks of a system. So the example of system software is our OS. Operating system of our computer can be considered as a system software. So examples for it can be Linux, Windows, Kali, Ubuntu, etc., etc., etc. So these are the examples of OS, and OS is the system software. Now going forward to the second part, that is application software. So application software is further divided into two. Number one is general application software, and another is specific application software. Why these application software are further divided into two? Because there are some softwares, or we can say there are some applications which are made up of so many different sort of things and can be used, and there are some applications which are based upon a particular task. An application can do only that task. So the applications which are focused and specialized on something, these are considered under the specific application software or specialized application software. And another one is general, wherein more than one different tasks are covered. So these were the basic things about computer. Now in the next class, or we can say in the next video, we will cover the other basic things about computer. That is the translator programs we have in computer and the types of programming languages available for a computer. Today, whatever we have discussed is, first of all, what is computer, then block diagram of computer, 5 components of computer, discuss those components deeply, and then we have covered software and hardware. So that's all for today. Stay safe and keep learning. Till then, bye for now, and we'll meet in the next video. Oh yes, how can I forget to pitch, right? So if you liked my video, please like it on the YouTube, and if you liked all my videos and me and the learning process, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to know whether the new video has been uploaded or not. Thank you.